What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, many people are starting to question and say that undefeated 3-division world champion, 5-time world champion, who simultaneously held the WBA super title at super featherweight, the WBA regular title at lightweight and junior welterweight. He also held the IBF super title at super featherweight. Superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, who is now 29 wins, no loss and no draw, 27 big wins by way of knockout. He is 28 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. They're saying that his victory over former lightweight title contender, now WBA junior welterweight world champion, star boxer Rolando Romero, who is now 15 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 13 wins by way of knockout. He is 27 years of age, 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. He recently, that being Rolando Romero, was in a very controversial fight in his last fight this past weekend when he picked up the WBA World Boxing Association title, beating Ishmael Barrasso via a 9th-round controversy stoppage. So, with that said, that's one of the big wins on Gervonta Tank Davis' resume, right? That was May 28th, New York, Brooklyn, the Barclays Center. He knocked out Romero in the 6th round. So there's starting to be a lot of chatter, and people are starting to either big up Gervonta Tank Davis's resume, or they're starting to try to diminish his resume and say, look at this performance that Romero put up against Ishmael Barrasso, who is clearly well over 40 because he has a child that's 30 years old, but he's listed at 40 years of age. That means he would have had a child at 10 years of age. That is not possible. Ishmael Barrasso is clearly older than 40 years of age. He's a southpaw. He came into the fight with Romero with 24 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 22 wins by way of knockout. So 22 of his 24 wins came by way of knockout, but he's well over 40 years of age. He was seen to be past his prime, and he was a late replacement. He ended up dropping Rolly in the 3rd round, and then he got dropped in the 8th round, and then got a controversial stoppage from Tony Weeks in the 9th round. As soon as he faced any sign of adversity, Tony Weeks waved off the fight. And so many people are starting to say, well, he was gun shy because of his last fight. The last time we saw him in the ring was against Gervonta Tank Davis in that fight, where Tank Davis brutally knocked him out in a 6th round with a counter check left hook, okay, and then slipped out. And Romero, this is the first time we saw him in action since that fight. So people are starting to question, is Romero still the same guy, or is Romero overrated and he got exposed? Because we saw him in a fight with Jackson Mariñez where he got outboxed and lost clearly in that fight. But once again, the judges already made their decision before the fight started, and they gave Rolando Romero a unanimous decision victory over Jackson Mariñez. So with that said, I'm seeing people, they're starting to send me stuff, and they're saying that Tank Davis's resume is in question. And then obviously you have the hardcore Gervonta Tank Davis fans that are saying that, Rolly is now a world champion, and he was simply not the same guy because of the loss to Gervonta Tank Davis. Well, I'm here to tell you guys, I think it's a mixture of both. I think Romero is definitely shy about letting his hands go since getting knocked out by Tank Davis. Okay, and Ishmael Barrasso has power. 22 of his 24 fights came by knockout. His wins came by knockout, and he's a southpaw as well, and he dropped Rolly with a left hand, right? So I definitely think that Rolly was, having flashbacks of Gervonta Tank Davis, although Ishmael Barrasso is nowhere near on the level of Gervonta Tank Davis. And then on the flip side of that, there's truth that Rolly could be overrated. He practices being unorthodox. He has an unorthodox style. He trains with bullet, and his training methods are unorthodox. He started boxing late. He came from a martial arts background. And so you can clearly see that there's a lot of growth that needs to be had on the part of Romero, and not just him, but on his training, right? And so with that said, I don't believe it diminishes Gervonta Tank Davis's resume because, again, like I said, I do think that him being knocked out by Tank Davis played a major part in him being shy to let his hands go in the fight with Ishmael. So I definitely think that, Gervonta Tank Davis played a major part in Rolly being hesitant because, he was like a child. No disrespect, no slight to him, but he was like a child in the sense that he had no fear because he was never in the fight with a fighter of the caliber of Gervonta Tank Davis in his career. Even though he lost to Jackson Mourinho, he was getting outboxed by him. He didn't get hit with big, clean punches. Getting knocked out by Tank Davis in the manner he did, makes him very, very aware, very well so more cautious to just come in. He used to be very, very aggressive, very, very active. And in this fight, he talked about in the build-up to this fight, being more patient. And he was definitely more patient, but he talks about being more strategic, being more of a boxer. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that he ran into that punch from Gervonta Tank Davis due to inexperience. And so now he's cautious to let his hands go. He wasn't very active in his fight with Ishmael Barrasso. He wasn't accurate with his punches. And, he definitely looked like he was hesitant to let his hands go. And a lot of that is due to Gervonta Tank Davis. Does Gervonta Tank Davis at this point in this stage of his career need to fight better opposition? Yes. Gervonta Tank Davis is the clear A side. He's built up his name. He's built up his good standings, right? He is clearly the A side. He is clearly the cash cow, one of the faces of the sport of boxing. He's a major draw. He's already proven that. So, yes, now it is time for him to fight the Shakur Stevensons, the Devin Haney's, the Lomachenkos, the Teofimo Lopez's, the Josh Taylors of the world, 1,000%. But do you diminish his resume because of the performance by Rolly Romero? No. Part of it is because of Gervonta Tank Davis did to Rolly, and the other part is Rolly definitely needs to step up his game as far as what he trains at. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out moving forward. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Just wanted to answer that. A lot of people was asking me that question. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon so you can get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.